It is I, John Reagan, the uncommon voice for the common man, where I have popped out of my bubble, as our former president used to say a few words to Senator Elizabeth Warren. That's right. We saw you yesterday on the floor of the United States Senate reading some propaganda from Coretta Scott King, and finally you went over the line by smearing the good name of Senator Jeff Sessions, President Trump's nominee for Attorney General. Well, Elizabeth Warren, since everybody is rushing to your defense on your side of the aisle, I thought it would be appropriate from somebody from Trump's side of the aisle to say a few choice words to you. And those words are this: shut the hell up! Shut up! Nobody wants to hear any more of your left-wing communist bilge, and that's just all there is to it. As your president once told the Republicans when he won his election in the first term, elections have consequences, and you have just been, to coin the phrase that Rush Limbaugh used, and it's a beauty, Mitch slapped. That's right. You're not going to sit there and badmouth a fellow member of the United States Senate, a good Republican, who actually stood up for the rights of black people, your black people, of course, and have him disgraced like that. It's just not going to work. I mean, after all, we don't see Jeff Sessions and Republicans going around like this for you, do you? Woo, 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 woo. Do you? Do you hear them calling you Pocahontas and any of those terms that other people would use? No, because they're United States senators. They have a little bit of respect. But since you're going on about Jeff Sessions and his unqualifications to be an attorney general, why don't we talk about Obama's attorney general? That's right. His attorney general was none other than Eric Green Card Holder. Now, when Eric Green Card Holder was the attorney general, he did something interesting, and you seem to forget about this, but fortunately for you, I remember it. Now, when Obama won his first term during the McCain-Obama election 8 years ago, you remember this little incident? Remember when members of the new Black Panther Party were standing out in front of polling places with baseball bats and turning away white voters? You remember that? Well, I remember that because that is exactly what they did. Then President George W. Bush had his attorney general bring federal election violation charges up against the new Black Panther Party. And you know what happened when Obama took office? He dismissed those charges. That's right. Now, see, so you're going to tell me that Jeff Sessions is unqualified when Obama's attorney general turned white people away from polling places, and you're telling us that Jeff Sessions is unqualified? Well, you don't make a lot of damn sense, and that's exactly why you should shut the hell up. You see, let me explain something to you, Squantasaurus, that you don't seem to understand. You and your buddies in the Afro-Leninist community are not running the country anymore. We are, and we're fed up with it. We have had enough of it, and that includes President Trump's Muslim ban. President Trump isn't trying to discriminate against religion. He's trying to save the country from terrorists. It's a very simple thing to understand, but since you probably don't understand that either, let me explain it to you. Here's the deal. Trump sees what's going on over in Europe. They don't have any vetting processes in Europe either. They just let all these peace-loving Muslims in by the millions, and they paid the consequences for it. Ask them people in Paris, Brussels, London, Germany. Ask them if they wish they had a vetting process like Trump is trying to bring to this country. Do you think they would like one? They probably would, because there's a lot of them now that can't make that comment because they're dead, you piece of shit. Don't you understand that? That is exactly what Trump is trying to stop. He's not discriminating against Muslims. He's trying to save us from the radical Islamic terror. You can't even say that. You can't even say the word radical Islamic terrorists. Well, fortunately for you, we can, because it's probably saving your worthless ass too. Yeah, that's probably a true thing. I could go on, but it probably wouldn't be advisable. But with that being said, why don't you stop this nonsense about this Muslim ban? For Christ's sakes, it's only 90 days. And you want to know the truth? Do you really want to know the truth about Trump and his Muslim ban? The truth of the matter is, it's you worthless politicians that have put us in this place to begin with. If you wouldn't worry so much about political correctness, none of this would be necessary. If you would have built the wall that Trump wants to build on the southern border to keep all the bad guys out, we wouldn't be in this fucking mess. And you politicians, and that includes people from the Republican Party, like Gerald McCain, people like that are responsible for the mess that we're in. And Trump is just trying to fix it. For Christ's sakes, it's 90 days. And it's only 5 countries. 5 or 7 countries. So what? You know, it's trying to get a handle on this situation before what happens in Europe happens to us. And you don't understand this, or you don't seem to care about it, because you're scoring political points. And you're doing it at my expense, because you people can get us all fucking killed. Don't you understand that? Jesus God. And as far as Jeff Sessions goes, he is the guy that needs to be put in there, so maybe, just maybe, we can clean up some of this corrupt mess that you people have brought upon us. After all, look what happened with Hillary Clinton. How much foreign access do you think she sold to, let's say, Saudi Arabia? The people that you love so much, she's selling access to the State Department to people like this with countries that have ties to terrorism. You people amaze me. You really, truly do. So do me a favor, Sarah Squanto-Horse. Shut the hell up. We don't want to hear any more than what you got to say. You and your buddies and the Afro-Leninist community are not running this country anymore. We are. And we're trying to save the country. But since you seem to have a problem with Jeff Sessions, why don't you tell me about Robert C. Byrd? You want to explain him to me and the American people? Why do you have this selective memory with Jeff Sessions, but you totally ignore Robert C. Byrd, the late great senator from the state of West Virginia, who was a card-carrying member of the Ku Klux Klan? Hell, he was some sort of member of the hierarchy up there. He was a Grand Wizard or something like that. And you people totally ignore him, but go after Jeff Sessions. It's unbelievable. And then, if you really want to get into it, really deep into it, why don't you look at Bill, William, Jefferson, Davis, Clinton? Yeah, remember him and his comments to Senator Ted Kennedy then? Remember that, where he was talking about Obama, and he said to Senator Kennedy about Obama that a few years ago, Ted, somebody like him would be serving us coffee. Do you forget those comments? Well, I don't, Squanto-Horse. I remember them well. So you people really do need to shut the hell up. We're sick of listening to it. You and your hypocrisy, enough is enough. So, with that being said, to you Republicans, I say this to you right now. You need to get on board with the Trump agenda, get his people appointed, and if you really, really, really love your country, you'll support him, because he is the first thing to come down the pike in decades that actually cares about the country and wants to do the right thing to try and save the country. Until next time, this is your favorite conservative, Ronald Reagan, saying this to you now. It is very hard to do this after working a 14-hour shift in the all-entitlement town, but I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed bringing it to you. Now remember this, when news breaks out, I break in. Over and out.